Hi, and welcome to Fantasy Corner. I'm John Wolf, and this is my co-host Casey Groff. We're here with NFL's Week 7 waiver wire pickups of the week. We have an exclusive look at some of these players, so let's walk through our picks and get you set for Week 7. At the quarterback position, I have Joe Flacco from the Baltimore Ravens. Flacco threw for 5 touchdowns and 300 yards against Tampa Bay last week. Had the Buccaneers put up a fight, he would have easily eclipsed those numbers, and since he's playing against another dismal secondary in the Atlanta Falcons this week, you should definitely consider picking him up if he's available, especially after the performance he showed us on Sunday.
At running back, we have Anton Smith, the Atlanta Falcons. Honestly, this is a high-risk, high-reward pickup due to the low amount of snaps the Falcons give him, but you can't really argue with his big playability. Last week, he only saw 2 carries for 5 yards, but did have 4 receptions, 65 yards, and a touchdown. He scored a touchdown in 5 out of 6 games this season, which is mind-blowing due to the fact that he doesn't see much time due to Steven Jackson. So if you want to take a shot at Smith, who wouldn't blame you? Remember, this is a boom or bust pickup.
At wide receiver this week, we have Mohamed Sanu of the Cincinnati Bengals. He is the number 1 receiver in Cincy. With A.J. Green and Marvin Jones out, he will continue to see time at that spot since A.J. Green is questionable again next week, and Marvin Jones is officially on the injured reserve. He had 10 receptions, 120 yards, and a touchdown last week. We hope he can have that same productivity again this week against the Colts.
At tight end, we have 2 pickups this week, and mine is Clay Harbor of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars aren't winning, but Blake Bortles is throwing, and Clay Harbor is the only tight end the Jaguars have since Mercedes Lewis is out. He actually put up a decent line at 3 receptions, 91 yards, and a touchdown against Tennessee. The Jags play at home this week against Cleveland. I want to say he'll have a productive game, but it's definitely a risky play as he hasn't proven himself yet.
My tight end this week is Jordan Reed of the Washington Redskins. Coming off his injury, he only played a little over half of the snaps last week, but outproduced Niles Paul and put up an 8-reception, 92-yard game. He is much more athletic than Paul, and as long as Reed continues to get healthy, he will most likely continue to see the snap count increase and his numbers increase as well. He has an above-average matchup against the Tennessee Titans this week.
Let's move forward with kickers and defense. As far as kickers go, I've chosen Brandon McManus from the Denver Broncos. He was Matt Prater's replacement this year, and common sense tells me McManus should be busy moving forward due to the high-powered offense of the Broncos. Most likely he's available, so if you have a kicker on a bye, it won't hurt you if you pick him up.
For our defense this week, we picked who else but the Cleveland Browns. This defense held Big Ben and the Pittsburgh Steelers to just 10 points last week. We are riding a trend and are betting that they can hold the Jacksonville Jaguars to around the same amount of points, even though they are playing in Jacksonville with Blake Bortles at quarterback. That wraps up things for Week 7. We're glad you joined us for our waiver wire pickups of the week. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at NFL_FFC, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and check out our weekly podcast on SoundCloud. I'm John Wolf, and for Casey Groff, this is Fantasy Corner, signing off.